All right, here's question number 2. I'm going to make this as fast as humanly possible. I already put the data in SPSS, right? So the first categorical IV was, what I put was the benefits package, okay? So that's the name of it. You go to values, you got to label your categories, your levels, right? So 1 is more medical, 2 is free dental. Man, I wish I had that one. And 3 is more vacation, okay? And then for the financial incentives, that's your other IV, IV2 or IVB. You had to label its levels. So the first one was stock options, second one was more retirement fund, and the third one was higher commissions. Money, money, money. Does money walk or does money talk? Okay. And then you had to identify which was which, right? So here's the benefits is a nominal. The financial incentives is a nominal. And of course, the auto sales is a scale number. We're just going to count those. Okay, so first thing I want to do is to see if the DV is normal, descriptive, explore, just the DV. I'm going to have it check for outliers. Don't need plots. Yeah, I guess, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I do need plots. I'm just going to get the histogram and the normality. The histogram and the normality plots will both tell me. I really only need one, but options, don't need that. Click OK. So now we're going to see if the DV is in fact normal enough to proceed. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? An ANOVA is what we call a very robust test. So that means you can proceed with some skewed data. They don't tell us exactly how skewed it can be, but from what I've seen is whether it's very skewed or not, you always get the same results on the F. But let's take a look. Okay, so there's 45 people. Don't need the mean. Extreme values. And, okay, there's our test for normality right there. So the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, because this is not less than 0.05, that means that we have not violated the assumption of normality. And there's our histogram. Not perfect again, kind of kurtotic, right? That means that kurtosis means there's either too few or too many in the middle. But it's close enough for me. And again, this is the normal QQ plot. These numbers should wrap around like a snake. Again, they're not perfect, but it's close enough for me. So I think we're okay to continue. Don't look at that one. But the box plot looks pretty good to me too. Okay, it's pretty darn normal. Doesn't tell us about any outliers. So let's go ahead and run our analysis. Analyze. General linear model. Univariate. Our DV is auto sales, and our two fixed factors are these two. Okay, so the main difference again is the interaction between the variables. This is very, very important. Model don't need contrast, don't need plots. I always like to do the plots. And we need to add that. Post hoc, we should probably do a post hoc, right? There's at least 3 levels. That means we can run a Tukey test. Again, if you only have 2 levels of an IV, don't run a Tukey test because you need at least 3. Okay, so continue. And options. Okay, we always get the overall. Descriptives, that's the means and the standard deviations. We always need effect size, power, and the homogeneity of variance test. That's the Levine's test. Click continue. I think we're ready to go. Bam. Aren't you glad you don't have to do this one by hand? Okay, so here's the data in SPSS. Get up there, you. Okay, so this tells us how many are in each of the 3 levels of the general incentives. That's the benefits. Okay, and how many are in the financial side. Here's all the means and standard deviations from each one. What I personally do is I go down the mean column. So there is a small one, 16. There's another smaller one, bam, bam. So I look at the smallest and the largest. So it looks like 28 is probably the largest. So 16 and 28 is 12. And then I look over the standard deviation. 12 is more than 2 times the standard deviations on average. So I'm going to suggest that we do have an overall omnibus F somewhere. And here's our Levine's test of the homogeneity of variance, and it was not violated, so we're good to go. And here's our F test. Okay, don't look at the corrected model. I'm sorry. Look at the corrected model with this one. That is the overall F, okay? So we do have a significant difference somewhere between all those different levels, but it's not going to tell us where. Okay, so now the intercept, this F is just challenging it against 0. That's all this intercept means. You don't have to look at it. So here's our first IV, benefits. Bam, 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 bam. There was a significant difference between the different benefit packages when it came to car sales, okay? Financial incentives. Oh, close, but no cigar. You see that? So the financial incentives did not cause a serious difference, a significant difference between the groups there. And then here's your interaction, and yes, you got some serious interaction between the benefits and the financial incentives. So what that tells us is that we are, if we wanted to investigate further, you would break these down and just look at the simple effects. So what that means is you would basically run a one-way ANOVA using just one level of one IV against all 3 levels of the other IV, okay? And you can do that multiple ways. So that's what that means. So what we're doing now, so there was a main effect in benefits. There was not a main effect in the financial incentives, and there was an interactive effect, a significant interactive effect, okay? So that's what this means. And so let's figure out with the post-hoc test where the differences lie. Okay, so we look at the significance column. So between increased medical and dental, no. Increased medical and more vacation, yes. Oh, big difference. So that's one big difference is between the medical increase and more vacation and dental and more vacation, bam, 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 and more vacation. Okay, so it seems to be the big differences are between more vacation and the free dental. So I'm going to go up and look at the more vacation means. More vacation means. Oh my goodness gracious! Look at that. Bam. So apparently they like the idea of more vacation. So it's making it's causing them to sell more. So more vacation seems to be your winner here because it crossed all 3 levels of the other. Look how high they are. So that's basically what that means. So that's about it. Let me look at the graph of the means here. Bam. Right. You see how they cross all over the place? That means there's going to be interaction. But we already knew that from the F there. So what am I missing? Oh yeah, let's look at the effect size. There's the effect size. Remember, effect size is always the partial eta squared. And for our corrected model, we got about 47%, which is really good. Okay. And our observed power is over 80%, which again is really good. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. MGZ.